see a bright future ahead for those players? Jonathan Fonkel, Shaquille Cairo, Renska Adipi, who became the best player in the Caribbean.
Yes, absolutely. I watched all of Robinhood matches in Jamaica, all of them, every single one of them, and I was really, really impressed. It didn't surprise me because I had Robinhood to at least get to the semifinals. I knew they would at least get to the semifinals of the competition. I was very impressed because I know the players quite well, especially those that play for Suriname national team. Jamila Richard, Shaquille Cairo. I was so happy to see Jonathan Funkel get the call up for the matches against Haiti and Grenada. So happy that he got that call up. And I think the future is bright for him and also for Suriname football as well. I personally think Funkel should start for Suriname. Many
Yeah,
people might not, but I think Funkel should start for Suriname.
exactly. The same thing I was thinking. Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
Cairo, eventually, Cairo will play more games. I understand the players that play overseas in Holland and other places, but Cairo as well, I think he'll get his chance. And you see it in the Robinhood team, technical, and they work together. And I was very impressed by what I saw from Robinhood. And I think they'll do well in the CONCACAF Champions Cup next year. I think they'll do okay. Round of 16 depends on who they play. It wouldn't surprise me if they go to the quarterfinals. Wouldn't surprise me.
With your knowledge and experience about the Champions Cup, when
Yeah.
you watch all the games Robin Hood played, um, how do you rank them against the teams? Because that's a level higher, right?
Yeah. Yes. So the clubs that play in the MLS in America and Mexico, they're professional clubs, and I know the general manager of Robin Hood, Stanley, is always saying that they are a amateur club. They're not semi-professional; they're amateur clubs. So I understand that, but I do think the talent is good enough to compete. It's just about the preparation. So the players in Robin Hood, they now need visas. They need to get their American visa. That's important. One. And the next thing is to stay together, stay in camp. So by the time February comes, they'll be ready. Because in February, the MLS season does not start as yet. The MLS season is in March. So Robin Hood will actually be in season, in form. Whereas MLS clubs, clubs in America, they won't be in season. They'll be in preseason form. So Robin Hood will be a little bit sharper than these other clubs. So that's how I feel, that Robin Hood could do. But most likely it's going to be Robin Hood against a team from America or a team from Mexico. One of those two places,
Great,
for
great.
sure. Yeah.
What what are the benefits that come along with winning the Caribbean Cup? Because we are here in Suriname, everybody is happy. Like this is the first time something like this happens, or many people experience this, but we don't understand the magnitude of this accomplishment.
Yeah.
Could you tell us a bit more
Yeah. So
about?
it's
Yeah.
been quite a year because Robin Hood won the Caribbean Club Shield and now the Caribbean Cup. So two trophies in 1 year. It's big, and I'll explain why. It's because of first thing television. So there's more eyes on Robin Hood. 100 million people on television watch the final Cavalier against Robin Hood. 100 million people. So more people, more scouts are watching these players, looking at them, and eventually, this will do well for the country because they're going to be scouted, and eventually some players are going to earn contracts overseas, which is very, very good for the club and also for Suriname as well. So that is one positive. And the next thing is the money that Robin Hood will get. The money that Robin Hood will get, they'll invest it into the club and also help them prepare for the CONCACAF Champions Cup next year. So those are two big positives for that. And thirdly, persons are going to look at Suriname and saying, what is happening in Suriname? Why is Suriname producing so many great players? So that's another positive as well. And I think that it's going to help the national team by the time the World Cup qualifiers come around next year. Maybe you can give a bit more insight into that for the overseas players, but I do think that Robin Hood will help the Suriname national team next year. That's why.
Now, one thing a lot of people have been asking, lately we've seen the prize money for the Champions Cup, but how much do they get for the Caribbean Cup?
Yeah, it's supposed to be 200,000 US dollars. 200,000 US. I'm not sure the conversion in your currency, but
Yeah.
200,000 US dollars.